Have you ever wondered what Hermès Kelly size is right for you? Today, I'll be answering that question because I have all the Kelly sizes to show you. So by the end of this video, you will know the perfect Kelly size for you. Hi my loves, welcome back. I am so excited about this video. It is one of my most requested videos. I actually haven't seen anything like this on YouTube. So today we are doing a deep dive into the Hermès Kelly, and I'm going to be helping you figure out what is the best Hermès Kelly size for you. As you can see, I have all the sizes to show you from my collection. I'll be going through each of the sizes, showing you what fits in and mod shots. But this time around, I'll be showing you mod shots on someone who is 5'4", 5'5" like me, and also on hubby who is around 5'10". But before we get into all things Kelly, I have something to show you that fits in perfectly with this theme. As you know, Mother's Day is coming up, so this is my early Mother's Day gift. And it's gonna come at no surprise because it's been on my wish list for a couple of years now. So let me show you what it is. And dark blue box. And dun, dun, dun. This is the Hermès Kelly bracelet. And the version that I got is the one that has pave on the iconic Kelly clasp. And this is in rose gold. It does also come in white gold as well, but I love sparkle. I love diamonds and bling, so I picked this one. So there's 3 variations of this bracelet. You can get it solid rose gold or solid white gold. You can have pave just on the clasp, or there is a full pave version. So if you want the ultimate bling, that is divine, but it also costs like 4 times the price. And we all know with designer fine jewelry that we are paying for the brand name. But this is actually my first bangle from Hermès. I've been pretty selective. I've tried a lot over the years, but as the Kelly bag is my favorite bag, it kind of makes sense to get the Kelly bracelet, right? This has been such a popular bracelet. They've done different variations now. There's a Kelly chain bracelet, which has links. That one is gorgeous as well. I've tried that on. They've got thicker versions, thinner versions, but this is the classic version. I told you guys, right? I wanted more rose gold bangles to stack with my Audemars Royal Oak. And also, I don't own that many rose gold bangles. So let me try this on and show you how I would pair it. I love a good stack. So what I've paired it is with 2 beautiful bracelets from IDYL. They are also in rose gold. You guys know how much I love IDYL's pieces. I've worked with them for over 3 years, and actually their bracelets category holds a special place in my heart because I remember it was probably just over 2 years ago when they got me to launch this bracelet category exclusively for them, and our Mim fam had first access to it. So thank you so much to IDYL for part sponsoring this segment of the video and always giving us special perks. So let me tell you about the bracelets. The first one is called the Force. I love this one so much. I actually own it in another color. It's just like a piece you can wear every day. It's dainty, but it still has presence. Next to it, I've added the Joy bracelet. I really like the design. It's minimalist, but look at those tiny diamonds. They just glow. And what's really smart is that IDYL's bracelets are designed to be worn together. So whether you want to pair 2 like me, you can even add 3. They have this little clever mechanism which joins the bracelets together. So it prevents it from sort of getting tangled, but it still feels so comfortable on the wrist. So all IDYL's pieces are made of 14 karat solid gold. So you don't have to take it off for a shower or even when you exercise. So they're just as durable as they are beautiful. One of the things I really appreciate about IDYL's jewelry is that they are built with versatility in mind. Because the designs are modular, you can swap, layer, restyle. It's like having a jewelry wardrobe that grows with you. Now let's talk about my necklace stack. If you've been here for a while, you will know that I love to mix metals. It's actually a very versatile way to get more from your jewelry pieces. Okay, so at the top, this is my newest piece, which is called the Charlie Choker. So I've picked this in rose gold. I really like it because it's got a clean, modern feel. Well, this one isn't modular like some of IDYL's other pieces. It's still really versatile because it has 3 adjustable lengths. And the details are just gorgeous. It's got 10 delicate diamonds that add just the perfect touch of sparkle around your collarbone. It's subtle, but still striking. So in the middle, I'm wearing my Van Cleef & Arpels Alhambra pendant. This one is in white gold guilloche. You guys know I love to collect their limited editions yearly. And I just think that adds a beautiful contrast. Because the guilloche has a sort of like a sunburst effect, it just catches the light really nicely. And I just think that pairs really well with sparkly diamonds, right? And then to anchor the whole look, I finished off with the Lena necklace. It's simple, but it's radiant. It's actually one of IDYL's best sellers, and I totally understand why. The diamonds just sparkle, and that's because they use diamonds that are excellent cut, the best color range, so DEF, and also VS and above clarity. So they don't compromise on quality. This necklace is so versatile, and I love it so much that I actually own it in the 3 different colors. So whether you're pairing it with a designer piece like Van Cleef or Cartier or something super personal, I just feel their necklaces have this clean, refined glow that just ties everything together. Now let's get to my earrings, because this is where IDYL really shines. So in line with my whole rose gold and white gold mixed metal look, on my right ear, I'm wearing the high diamond stud in 0.5 carats in rose gold. And then on my second piercing, I've got the medium stud in white gold. And then on my third piercing, I've got the petite stud in rose gold with the Lucia add-on also in rose gold. Look how nicely the Lucia cascades up my ear. In saying that, I've also worn this Lucia on my first and second piercing as well. And I think that's what sets IDYL apart. They're not just fine jewelry, they're smart jewelry. You don't actually have to commit to a single look. You can transform a basic stud into a statement earring by adding a drop, or you can build your layers depending on your mood or the moment. In this instance, because I have 3 necklaces, I wanted a more studded feel for my ears. And their studs range from 0.1 all the way up to 1 carat. And that's the same for their add-ons. They have such a variety that you can change up your look without changing up the base stud. I always like having options. Just like my Hermès Kellys, I own every single size. There's a time and there's a place for each. IDYL just makes it so easy for you to create a look that goes with your style perfectly. I also love mixing yellow gold and white gold. In fact, my upgraded 25-year wedding band stack is a mix of yellow gold and white gold. So I quickly wanted to show you, since I'm an earring girl, how I would mix yellow and white gold. So on my left ear, I've actually done the combination of white gold and yellow gold. So this add-on is called La Rebelle. I actually only have 1 piercing in this ear, but look at this add-on. It looks like I have multiple, doesn't it? So the La Rebelle is in white gold, and then in the center I put 0.5 yellow gold diamond stud, and I love the contrast. It's so chic. And then on my right ear, I've got the big diamond stud in white gold paired with my new Bia add-on. I love Marquise diamonds so much. I already own the Serena necklace, which also features Marquise diamonds, so I just had to get the matching earring. Then I've just stacked it with the medium stud in yellow gold and the petite stud in yellow gold in my second and third piercing. And then I finished it off with another new in. This is the solar cuff in white gold. And this connects to the back of the medium stud, and it gives you that super sculpted editorial finish. And you might think, that's pretty edgy, Mel, but I'm having so much more fun now that I have 3 piercings on my right ear. So today I really wanted to give you more styling info, because by mixing metals, it actually gives you more freedom to play around. You don't have to stress about what color hardware your bag has, whether it's palladium or gold or rose gold. With this jewelry, it just goes with everything. So if you're looking for diamond jewelry that evolves with you, you will adore their pieces. They're crafted in Belgium, Antwerp, the diamond capital of the world. And fun little fact, you know, it goes through 8 artisans before it's even shipped to you. So definitely check out their website. I'll have everything I've worn today linked in the product description down below. You can also use MIM10 to get 10% off your purchase. They've actually created a special page, so click that link and it will take you to all of my favorites. Okay, since we've had our little sparkle moment, let's talk Kellys. When it comes to iconic bags, few rival the legendary status of the Hermès Kelly. But if you've been considering the Kelly, one important decision you need to make is, should I go Sellier or Retourne? The Kelly bag comes in 2 constructions. So no, not 2 different models, 2 different constructions. Okay, let's start off with the Sellier. So Sellier means saddler in French, and this refers to the outside stitch construction. So the leather's actually stitched on the outside of the bag and the edges are actually waxed and sealed. So this gives it a more sort of like sharp, rigid silhouette. So you'll see that it's boxier in shape. Now, if you look at the Retourne, it's actually stitched inside out, and then it is turned right side out, hence the name, which means reversed or turned in French. So you can see that with the Retourne, it's got a more softer, relaxed shape, it's got rounded corners, and it's more of a casual vibe. So the easiest way to identify the difference, just think Sellier, stiff, stitching on the outside. Retourne, relaxed, and you don't see the stitching. That's how I remember it anyway. And because of the different constructions, they often use certain types of leathers. So you will often find Selliers made in Epsom or in box leather. And then if you look at my Retourne, and the leathers that you'll find in Retournes are usually Togo, Swift, Clemence, and mine is actually in Evercolor. So this just lends itself more to the relaxed shape of the Retourne. And the reason I have them side by side is to show you that even though both of these bags are in the same size, if you look at the Sellier, it appears a little bit bigger than the Retourne because of its boxier silhouette. So in terms of practicality, the Retourne is easier to get in and out of. It is more forgiving. You can fit more in the Retourne than the Sellier of the same size. But in saying that, with the Sellier, although it's a little bit stiff to get in and out of at first, it does soften up. The Kelly, although it is my favorite bag, you do need 2 hands when you're getting in and out of your bag. I mean, for me, I don't mind because I just love the Kelly so much, but that's just something to be aware of. So if you're someone who loves a clean, tailored finish, you might like the Sellier better. If you like a bit more of a casual vibe, then you might like the Retourne better. But all in all, Sellier a little bit more formal looking than the Retourne. Now let's talk value. If you were to buy both of these brand new from the boutique, Sellier typically costs a little bit more than the Retourne. Both constructions are highly sought after. The Kelly is sought after. We all know how hard the Kelly is to get, and Birkin too. So these are great investments. Like, I don't personally think bags are investments, but if you were to buy a Kelly right now, you could sell it on the pre-loved market for more straight away. And ultimately, if you're gonna buy a Kelly, you kind of want to keep it, right? So it doesn't matter whether it is a Sellier or Retourne. What's most important is which one suits your lifestyle. Now let's dive into the heart of the video. So how I'm going to structure this is, for each size, I'm going to tell you 1, a little bit about the bag, 2, pros and cons, 3, best occasions to wear it, 4, what fits inside, and then 5, mod shots on a 5'4" and a 5'10" frame. Okay, let's start off with the Kelly Mini or Kelly 20. Now, it's called Kelly 20 because it measures 20 centimeters across. So with all the sizes, whether it's 25, 28, 32, and so forth, we're talking about the length of the base. Now, my Kelly Mini is in ostrich leather in the very coveted color Nata. Now, one thing to note about the Kelly Mini is that it only comes in the Sellier construction. It doesn't come in the Retourne. Another thing to note is with the Kelly Mini, it does come with a shoulder strap. All Kellys will come with a shoulder strap, but it doesn't come with a clochette or a key, which I'll show you in the next size up. So because it only comes in a Sellier construction, the most common leathers that you'll find in a Kelly Mini is Epsom, Chev, Box. I would say those three are the most common. And then of course, exotics. Okay, let's move to the pros and cons. So because it is so tiny, a pro is definitely that it's super lightweight. Secondly, it works so well as an evening bag. Or, you know what? Guys can carry the Kelly Mini too. It'll be like more fashion jewelry for them. But who says a guy can't rock a Mini? Another pro I would say is the Kelly Mini has the strongest resale value of all the Kelly sizes. I'm not talking about like special editions or limited editions. All Kellys are expensive, as we know, but if you look on the resale market, a Kelly Mini would often go for 2, 3, 4 times the price, depending on the color and combination. I just think it's the most adorable bag either. I know some people might think it looks like a toy bag, but I like its small proportions. So that's a pro for me. I should let you know as well, in this guide, I'm focusing on the sizes that Hermès currently sells. There is actually a smaller Kelly than this, which is the Kelly 15, but they discontinued that years ago. And there was also another version of the Kelly 20, but it looks different. It's got like a longer top handle. I would love to get that vintage. I actually tried the Kelly 15 when I was in Japan. Oh, Japan's the best for pre-love shopping, but yes, I would love those too. But in stores, you can still currently get the Kelly Mini. So the cons, in saying that, the Kelly Mini is the hardest Kelly to get out of the sizes. And two, because it is so tiny, it has very limited capacity. You'll see in the what fits in section. Another con of the Kelly Mini is that you cannot wear this at the crook of your arm. I mean, I think my wrists are relatively small. Like I can get it through but I wouldn't wear it like this. I mean, because of its proportions, it looks the cutest handheld or worn on the shoulder, but that's why I want the vintage version, because it does come with a longer top handle. And then another thing is that if you are too tall, so I would say if you are maybe 5'6" and above, if you want to wear this crossbody, it will sit too high. But of course, you can wear it handheld and as a shoulder bag if you are taller than 5'6", but yeah, just the crossbody part. Next, I want to talk about some styling scenarios to help you sort of decide if the size is right for you. So how I've personally worn my Mini Kelly is for evenings. So whether that be weddings, a cocktail, or a dressy event, it's the perfect little accessory when you don't need to carry too much. During the daytime, even though it is tiny, if I know I don't need to pack too much, it does fit your bare essentials. I could be wearing jeans and a tee, swing my Mini Kelly around, and it just adds instant sophistication. And another scenario is I've actually taken my Kelly Mini on my travels. So I think it's a very cute travel companion. When you sling it crossbody, it just lays really flat. So if you only need, say, your passport, card holder, lippy, you probably would have to hold your phone. It's really good for that. Plus, this is a perfect going out sort of bag because you know when at your restaurant, you don't need to worry about hanging your bag somewhere. You can just have it on you, and because it's so light, you can just swing it behind your back and you can continue to eat your delicious food. So what fits in the Mini Kelly? Now for me personally, I always use an insert because Hermès does not spar the inside of your bag. We spend a fortune on these bags, so I always like to protect them. So you guys already know this. I work with 7RP for like over 7 years, so I only use their inserts. They are on the pricier end, but still cheaper than an Hermès 4B, but I love it because it helps organize my things. This is actually waterproof, so I'm not worried about lipstick stains or watermarks because you can chuck this in the wash. So for those of you still asking, yes, I still have a code for you and I'll link it below if you were wanting to get the best inserts for your Hermès babies. So what I've got in here, and you can see it's not much. If you have an iPhone Pro, it will fit. I'm going to put it in the bag and show you. It is a bit of a squeeze. So if you've got a Pro Max, no way. So in here, I've got my phone, I've got a card holder with some cards and cash, a lippy, and then my key fob. So I'm just going to put this in because I think it's important to show you, because you don't want to be putting too much pressure onto your bags and having them bulge out. Okay, as you guys can see, that is max capacity. So if you want to carry more than that, then this mini Kelly might not be for you. If you do take your phone out, because honestly, when I wear my mini Kelly, I don't put my phone in there. I always have my phone in my hand because I use it for vlogging, or I might put it in my jean pocket. So if you take your phone out, then yes, you could fit AirPods in there. You can fit a Bastia. So this is max capacity, because even with the Bastia, when I close it up, it still does not put any damage on the bag, as you can see. So that would be the max I would carry for the mini Kelly. Okay, moving along to mod shots, I thought it would be really useful to have a side-by-side comparison. So first up is me. I am 164 centimeters for reference. I can get the mini Kelly through my wrist, but it's not comfortable. I just wanted to show you my favorite way to wear it is either handheld or definitely as a shoulder bag. You can actually crossbody it as well if you are under 5'6", but I don't tend to wear it this way that much. And here is hubby in the exact same 3 positions as I am. As you can see, no way he can get it through his wrist. One finger maybe, but either way, the mini Kelly is a tiny bag. It will look tiny on my frame, and hubby's 5'10" or about 177 centimeters tall, and it looks tiny on him. But of course, guys can wear it as a handheld or shoulder bag, or even as a necklace bag if you want. Next up is the Kelly 25, because it measures 25 centimeters across. The Kelly 25 comes in 2 constructions, the Sellier and the Retourne. So this one is in Epsom leather. It is in my favorite red, Rouge Casaque. And then this one is extra special. This one is in Retourne with palladium hardware in Baton Alligator. So this is my most expensive Kelly. So when it is in a Sellier construction, the most common leathers, as I mentioned before, will be Epsom, Chev, and Box. Obviously, it can come in other leathers. I'm just mentioning the main leathers that you often see them in. And then for Retourne, the most common leathers are Togo, Clemence, Swift. I actually own another Kelly 25 in Swift leather. And of course, it can come in exotics as well. Both versions can come in exotics. And just to quickly show you, from the Kelly 25 upwards, it does come with the clochette and key as well. But honestly, I don't really like to hang this on my bags because the lock can kind of scratch the leather. But for short periods of time, it's fine. So what are the pros and cons of the size 25? I think the Kelly 25 transitions from day to night the best. It still looks very elegant with a more evening sort of outfit, but obviously it looks so chic during the day. And then I would say another pro is because it's still a pretty small bag, it is pretty lightweight. Definitely holds way more than the mini, which I'll show you in a sec. And then lastly, this size, I would say in the resale market, it would go for the second highest after the mini Kelly, because at the moment, everyone just wants a mini Kelly or a Kelly 25. So the cons for the size 25 is if you're a person that likes to pack a little bit more, you might find this a little bit small. Like I'm the type that I like to pack a little bit more, but of course, if it's all your daily essentials, but that's a slight con. Secondly, again, similar to the Kelly Mini, if you are taller, I can crossbody this bag. Normally, I just wear it on my shoulder, but if you are like taller than 5'6", it might look a little bit awkward, plus uncomfortable when you are crossbodying it. And then third, especially in the Sellier version, it is definitely harder to get in and out of. I mean, generally Selliers in their construction, as I said before, it's harder to get in and out of than the Retourne. But in the Kelly 25, it's even more so. So in terms of styling scenarios of how I've worn my Kelly 25, I've definitely worn it in the evening, date night. Again, because it is still quite petite in size, I find that at fancier restaurants, I still can have it behind me without it being uncomfortable if there is no place or seat for your bag. So I use this a lot, both different constructions for date nights. I've even worn my Kelly 25s for more formal events. I wouldn't say black tie, but formal events when I'm wearing like a longer dress, it's still sleek and chic to feel dressy enough. Then I also think this size is great from day to night. If I know I don't need to carry that much, I've even taken it to work with me, so paired it with more tailored outfits. And then in the evening when we're going out for work drinks, you can wear a little black dress with your Kelly 25. And then of course for every day, both constructions work so well, whether you're just pairing it with jeans or if you want a little bit more of a polished look, the Sellier will go well with like a blazer and jeans. But I've worn it with my cashmere set, with my Retourne. Either way, when it's a super cash outfit, you have your Kelly on the crook of your arm and it's instant glam. Or you can sling it crossbody if you're under 5'6". So what fits in the Kelly 25? Now, if you look at my inserts, this really shows you the capacity. You can see that the insert for the Kelly 25 Sellier is definitely smaller than the Kelly 25 in Retourne, because as I said, this one you can fit more, and that reflects in this. All 7RP inserts are tailor-made to fit your bag. That's why I love them. Okay, let's start off with the Sellier. So in here, I've got my tissues, my phone. This will fit iPhone Pro Max, card holder, Bastia, a bigger set of keys this time, and AirPods, a lippy, a little cute perfume, and it will even fit a little book, which is The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. Highly recommend this book, by the way. This is just a little mini version because I am a Christian. So let me put this in. I probably would take one thing out when I normally wear it, but I do want to show you max capacity. And I know that this will fit perfectly in because their inserts do. And voila, you can see it all perfectly fits. So if you want to see inside your bag more clearly, pick a lighter color insert. But sometimes I like to do matchy, sometimes I like to do contrast. And then you can even fit sunglasses in a soft case and just lay that on top. So if I close it up, no problem. No bulges, nothing. That's perfect. So in the Kelly 28, I'm just going to transfer everything here to the 28 Retourne insert and show you the difference. All right, as you can see, everything from there I've put into here and there is still room. I would say the biggest difference is that you can, if you take out your card holder and say the Bastia, if you wanted to fit a full-size wallet, you can, but it would be a little bit more of a squeeze, but it does fit. And then you could still put your keys. I don't really carry a full-size wallet anymore. I love my YSL compact wallet, so I'm going to use that because that's really more of an example. I could fit that in there, my phone, keys, AirPods. I can still fit the card holder in there. Could I fit the Bastia? Yes. So everything from there, I've added another wallet. Not that you would need another wallet, but just to show you, it does fit more. If I put it into my Kelly 25 Retourne, it will just glide in, easy peasy. And there you go. See how with the lighter insert, you definitely can see inside your bag a lot easier. And then still you could put sunglasses and lay it on top. Not a problem. There you go. Still fits everything with no bulges. So if you love the 25 but want a little bit more room, I would go for the Kelly 25 Retourne rather than the Sellier, just because it fits a bit more. But if you don't carry that much, just go with the construction that you love.
Moving along to mod shots. Now, one thing I have to give to the Kelly 25 is that any which way you wear it, it just looks so good. I love this proportion on me. It actually doesn't look like such a small bag, but it doesn't pack as much as you think. However, aesthetics wise, you can't go wrong. And I love wearing it all three ways. And you know what? This size does not look bad on hubby at all. I actually think it's quite cute. So even if you are taller, I just think the size 25 proportions are so cute that it works. It just depends on whether the Kelly 25 has enough capacity for you, but I totally get why this is one of the most sought after bags.
Next up is the Kelly 28 because it measures 28 centimeters across. So in my Sellier, as I said before, mine is in anemone, Epsom, and then in the Retourne, it is in gris pearl in Evercolor leather. The most common leathers in the Sellier is the same as the 25, so Epsom or box. And then in the Retourne, Togo, Clermont, Swift, Evercolor. I do want to point out you can find a Togo Sellier. It does happen, but they're pretty rare. Then moving along to the pros and cons, I think the 28, one definite pro is that I feel like it suits all heights, whether you're, 5'1" or you're 5'10", it still looks proportional. Also a pro for me is that it fits all my daily essentials comfortably. I don't have to worry about, I have to leave this out. So if you like to pack a bit more, that's definitely a pro. And then thirdly, because it can transition from day to night, you can wear it with casual wear to more elevated wear. Another pro is, you know how I mentioned on the 25 that with the Sellier, it's generally that construction is harder to get in and out of. It is much easier in the 28 than the 25. So if you love the Sellier construction, I would go the 28. Now, in terms of the cons of the bag, because it is a little bit bigger, it is a little bit heavier as well, especially in the heavier leathers like Clermont's, for example. I find it okay because, with Kelly's, the best thing about the bag is that it has the shoulder strap, but just something to be mindful of. And then another con is that a lot of people may like this size and want to use it for work, even though I have used it for work, but a con is, no, it doesn't fit a laptop, unfortunately. Another slight con, which I found, is that especially since in the Sellier version, it does stick out a little bit more. So sometimes I can bump into things. It hasn't affected my bag, but just something little that I've noticed. I mean, I have done an in-depth comparison on the two most popular sizes, the 25 and the 28. So if you want even more in-depth, then go watch that video. I will link it above. But yes, those are the general pros and cons. So the occasions that I've worn my Kelly 28s, believe it or not, I've still worn it in the evening. I still think it does transition from day to night well, but not quite as well as the Kelly 25, but you can get away with it. I've also worn this on date nights. I've also worn it to events in the evening, but I would sort of more carry it handheld or at the crook of my arm because it looks really nice with some like tailored trousers. I've also used this bag, more so the Kelly 28 Sellier, as a work bag, but it does not hold a laptop, but it will still fit all my essentials comfortably. So I have done that before as well. And then day to day, what can I say? Weekend brunches with the girls. This is a great bag. Going to check out museums or art fairs. This is great. Day to day, whether dressed up or down. The Kelly 28, I just think is a bag that it's not too big, but it's not too small. And for me, I like to carry a little bit more. So I just think this is a great size. That's why I've titled it the Everyday Icon. So what fits in the Kelly 28? So what I've done is I've packed everything from the Kelly 25 in Retourne to the Kelly 28 Sellier. So that's exactly the same items. And as you can see, there is a little bit more space. So even though I've said the Retourne is more forgiving, the 25 Retourne, as forgiving as it may be, will still pack less than the Kelly 28 Sellier. But of course, this one will fit more. But as you can see, I could put something else in there. And how I usually would pack this, because that was at max capacity, is that obviously you don't need a card holder and a compact wallet. So I would take this out. I love bringing my mini pochette because it's just a catch-all for everything. That fits in there super comfortably, as you can see. If you do like a full-size wallet, that will go super comfortably in there as well. And that would just take up a bit more room. But for me, I always take my mini pochette everywhere. And yeah, I still have room for something else, but I wouldn't put that in. And you can see I've matched my inserts to the bags because I just like a matchy moment. And slide you inside. And there we go. Again, you could put sunglasses, lay it on top and close it up and it's not a problem. No bulges, still perfect. So let's move everything from this insert into the K28 Retourne. And just before I transfer everything, I forgot to mention, if you like carrying water with you, it does fit a 300 ml, like so a smaller size water bottle, but you can close that up and that's absolutely fine. And I would still feel safe doing that because it would be in my insert. So I've transferred everything exactly, and as you can see, the Kelly 28 again will fit a bit more. There's more room here. So when you put a full-size wallet in here, it's not as tight of a fit. So I think you're seeing a pattern. Retourne obviously holds more than Sellier, but with the 28, it just fits a lot more comfortably. So as it has a little bit more room, I will probably put my sunglasses right along the side like that, so that fits. I mean, you could always lay it on top, but yeah, it's just a bit roomier. So that is a super positive thing. Slide you in there. Oh yeah, plenty of space. I mean, if you really want, you could probably even put a small umbrella, compact umbrella, and lay it on top. But this, as you can see, there was a lot in there. And that's why I said it fits like all my daily essentials.
And here are the mod shots for the Kelly 28, which I've titled the Everyday Icon because it is such a great everyday bag. It particularly looks so elegant in the Sellier construction, and I don't think it looks too boxy at all. It's just a great medium-sized bag in my opinion. And either which way you wear it, as you can see the side-by-side comparison, it just looks so stylish. And then on hubby, you can see the proportions are looking a lot better. It's a great size if you're taller. This is why I said before that the Kelly 28 size suits all heights and frames. And if you only had to buy one Kelly, this would probably be the size because it's that sweet spot.
Next is the Kelly 32. Again, I own it in both constructions. My Sellier is a vintage lizard in emerald. Oh my goodness, love this bag so, so much. And then in my Retourne, it is my very first Kelly and I love it in the 32. And this one is in Togo leather. So you will find in a 32 in the boutiques, you probably see it more in the Retourne construction than the Sellier. I feel like the 32 Retourne is definitely easier to wear. And this is actually one of my most worn bags. It's very chic and it's very, very practical. So the most common leathers you would find in this bag is Box or Epsom again, or Togo, Clemence, Swift, but I would say probably more so Togo. Now, if you look on the vintage market though, you will see a lot of box 32s because back then the 32s and 35s were all the rage. So what are the pros and cons? Obviously, since it is a bigger bag, it is more roomier. So if you like to pack a lot, you might love this size. Another pro is that it is just a great daily bag. You can just chuck a lot more in there. And you know what? It does make a great travel bag. I brought this on the plane with me as well. And I think a definite pro is that if you love this size, on the pre-loved market, you will find these for much more reasonable prices. So you can get a good deal on the size 32. So do consider it. It's not as big as you may think, but if you wanted the Sellier, it might be hard to find in store because that might be a con because it's not as popular as the 28, 25 minis. It could be a con, but it could be a positive. I think another con is all of them are sort of cons in terms of the strap length. If you're too tall, then this is not going to work crossbody. I don't crossbody this bag. It just looks awkward. If you really want to crossbody it, just get a canvas strap. It'll be a lot more comfortable at a longer length, then it will be fine to crossbody. But I still think it's a little bit big to crossbody personally. But if you're taller, then no, this could look really, really good crossbody. And another con is because it is a bigger bag, especially since most of the time you will find it in Togo or Clemence, it will sort of like sag with time. That's why I always harp on about getting an insert. The reason why my bags look so good is because, especially more in the Retourne construction than the Sellier, because the Sellier, you know, is stiffer. It just prevents that sag. You've seen Kellys or Birkins on the pre-loved market and they just kind of look like mush. So unless you love that look, that's completely fine. And you want to kind of retain the structure, then have an insert. And then the other con is because of the size as well. This is not a bag I would wear as an evening bag. Date night, yes. Casual date night, like going bowling, I would still rock her. Probably not this one. This one might be a bit serious for bowling, but this one, absolutely. So I guess I've kind of touched on the styling scenarios. I've worn this the most during the day because it's just such a practical everyday bag. And another way that I've worn this, especially the Sellier, I have worn it to work because it does fit an iPad mini or a Kindle. So because it's bigger, it will fit more. It can also make a great medium-sized travel bag too. And even though I've given you some examples of how I've personally worn it, sometimes what can really change the vibe is how you dress it up. Like you've kind of seen all throughout my sizes that sometimes I have a twilly, sometimes I don't. So usually I like to have a twilly to protect the handle. But you know, if you've seen here, I've got a twilly and I've got this charm, it just changes its look. Sometimes you've got those big Labubu charms and you dress it up and it looks a lot more playful. So despite the construction, how you dress it up will also change the way in which you will style the bag and its end use too. So what fits in the size 32? Again, same drill, transferred everything from the K28 Retourne and put it into the K32 Sellier, and you can see automatically there is more space. So with this is everything I would pack. Now the Sellier obviously packs a bit less than the Retourne. Now I've purposely picked a lighter color insert because when you have a darker color bag, it brightens everything up. So as I said, it does fit an iPad. This I would slide at the back of the bag. So as you can see, it fits an iPad and everything that I had from the Kelly 28 Retourne. You could still lay your sunglasses. I've even got room for mints, no problem. It is heavy. So let me close it up to quickly show you. Voila. No bulges, still perfect. So I've transferred everything from the K32 Sellier to the Retourne insert and a lot more space. So this definitely packs a lot more. That's why I've used it for travel. And the difference is that you can slide this one in the insert fine. And then you can lay your sunglasses on top. And let me put it in to show you. Again, for this size, you could fit the water bottle. Hold on, it's just a bit heavy. I'll put this in after. It's easier to put in like this. And then I can put this, which fits in my insert perfectly. Yeah, definitely has more room. And then sunglasses. See? Definitely could fit a compact umbrella as well. So I will do this up for you. And there you have it. So if you're someone who likes to pack a bit more, then consider the Kelly 32. It's not as big as you think. And personally, I would still add another Kelly 32 Retourne.
Now for the mod shots for the Kelly 32. I think this size is so underrated. It is super, super practical. I love using it as a daily bag because I chuck so much in there. And I really don't think, especially in the Retourne construction, that it looks too big, as you can see on me. I'm 164 centimeters tall, and this bag really is my practical workhorse. Now, the Kelly 32 on taller frames looks so proportional. It looks fantastic on hubby. And it looks fantastic on hubby. I just love the fact that it can fit so much in there. So if you love to pack more, you're really going to enjoy this size. So yeah, I implore you guys, definitely consider it. I just think it isn't. So I implore you, definitely consider it. You can find some great pre-loved deals. And I think this one might be hubby's favorite. He definitely loves this gold one in my collection at least.
Up next is the Kelly 35, and I only own the Retourne construction. I don't think I've seen a Kelly 35 Sellier ever in any boutique. I'm sure they sell them, but I just haven't seen one. But I did get mine from the boutique, and that was from a Prague boutique as a walk-in. Very unexpected, but a good story. So mine is in this gorgeous deep green colorway. It's called Vert Cypre or Vert Cypress. In certain lights it can even look black, but it's a very dark green. And mine is in Togo leather. Since you really only find this more in Retourne, of course on the vintage market you can find it in both Retourne and Sellier, you probably just see more Sellier versions on the vintage market. So the leathers that are most commonly found is Togo, like mine, or Clement's. And then on the vintage market, you most commonly find it in Ardeen's leather or Fjord. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I think this size is preferred a bit more by the guys or girls that are taller. So the pros of the 35. Of course, you can fit a whole lot in here. You can actually fit a 13-inch MacBook, but any bigger, you'll have to go up in size. So if you need that, then this is the size for you. I think a pro of it anyway is it's got like a vintage aesthetic. As I briefly mentioned before, you know, back in the day, the 32s and 35s, they were the sizes. That's why you see so much more of them on the pre-loved market. Leading to my next pro. If you want a 35, you can find this for less than retail, or at least retail, because these sizes aren't as popular. Grace Kelly's original Kelly, it was in the 35, and it doesn't look that humongous, does it? There's something super chic about an oversized bag, and you know bigger bags are in. You know, back in the day, even when Mary Kate Olsen, like they're only 5'1", but they were rocking their Birkin 35s, even Birkin 40s. So just because you might be more petite doesn't mean you can't rock a bigger bag. And then in terms of the cons, I mean, you could say a con is that it looks a bit big on petite frames, but it really depends on your look. And then I guess the biggest con is that it is pretty heavy, guys. So when you fill it up, it is a bit of a weight on your shoulder. And then most obviously, this is not a bag you would take on the evening. It's definitely a daily bag or perhaps like a travel bag. Okay, so when have I worn this bag? So this is a little bit more for the ladies because guys, you could wear this in the evening and it will still look very stylish, right? Or if you're 5'10", it will look very proportional on you. But for me, I've used this as a work bag since it fits a 13-inch MacBook. I've also worn it mainly just during the day because I just think it looks very chic handheld, and personally I like the vintage vibe. And then obviously it's also a great travel bag, and that's another way that I've used it. What fits in the size 35? Nearly everything. Again, I've transferred everything from the 32 Retourne to this one. Oh my goodness, you can see how much space it has. The biggest thing, as I said, is that it fits a 13-inch MacBook. Like, it won't fit in my insert, but I'll show you when I slide it at the back of the bag. But if you wanted to put a water bottle in here, no problem. You know, a bigger agenda, no problem. Extra wallet, no problem. Your sunglasses can go there. I think you kind of get the message. You wouldn't want to pack this too much because it will get heavy, but I still have space. So again, darker bag, I've chose a contrast insert because it's so pretty. And in you go. Nice and comfy. And then you can put your laptop in there. It slides to the back. Now a note, a laptop will not fit in the Sellier version, only in the Retourne. And this is, I would say, just as well. And as you can see, the laptop is right at the back. Gosh, that's heavy, but there's still more room. So if you wanted a shawl, you could put it in there, an umbrella, full cosmetics case. I think you know where I'm going. There's a lot that you can fit in there. And let me just quickly do it up for you. And now, when you have the laptop in there, I just always like to wing the sides out so it doesn't really put pressure, but that's completely fine. And then just for a more playful look, just added a matchy rodeo on there, just for some cuteness factor.
So here are the side-by-side comparisons for the Kelly 35 in Retourne. This is definitely a spacious bag, and if you pack it full, it will definitely give your arm a workout. But because of its size, it's great for a work bag. I think the proportions to some people might seem like it's too big on me, but hey, big bags are in, so I'm embracing it. I actually need to use this one more. And you know what? If it's good enough for Grace Kelly, it's good enough for me. I can see why men really like the Kelly 35. It looks great on them and on anyone that is taller in nature. It's definitely big enough if you want to take it on travel as well. So don't discount this one if you are shorter. It will definitely make a statement bag.
And lastly, the Kelly size 40. Now, my version is not in leather, but this is the size because it does measure 40 centimeters across. The main difference that you'll find with the leather version, because this version is actually in plastic, it was actually from, when is it from? I think 1997, from a Japan exhibition. I just thought that was so cool. I remember unboxing this with you guys, and I even gave one of these away. So the leather versions is this wide, but the handle is obviously longer because from the 25 onwards to the 40, you can comfortably wear it on the crook of your arm. So most commonly, I think it mainly only comes in Retourne. I mean, it's pretty rare to get a Kelly Sellier size 40, but guys love this size, especially if you're over 6 foot. It looks very proportional on you. But you know what? Even though I'm not that tall, if I find a vintage Kelly 40 in a vintage leather I love, I might get it. So I never say never. That's how much I love the Kelly. And because it really only comes in Retourne, the leathers will be like Togo, Clemence, or the vintage leathers, which I mentioned before. So going to the pros and cons. Now, I can't comment on the leather version, but a pro of this bag is that this is definitely a great travel bag if you want to use it for travel because it can fit loads in there. And another pro is that because of its size, this would be great for work because you can carry your laptop and more documents and everything that you need. Another pro is that it definitely makes a statement. I mean, as I said, bigger bags are coming back. I know men will buy the 35s and 40, but if you want to make a statement, this does it. Obviously, a con would be that it is very heavy, especially in those leathers because they tend to be even heavier. Another slight con, I mean, this is debatable, but it is a very big bag, so it probably will overwhelm you if you're too petite. But like I said, I actually really don't care about that. Another con is that when you go to the slightly bigger sizes like the 32, 35, 40, the resale value is lower. Okay, so when have I worn this bag? So my particular version, as it's so light, you can still find these for a pretty good price, under $1,000. It's fun and playful. So I've worn this during the day. I've actually put a mini Kelly in there because it's see-through. It's fun, isn't it? But I would imagine that if I have the leather version, then it would be great for work and for travel because of its size. So what fits in the Kelly 40? Now, of course, my version is the transparent version. As I said, it's like a special edition, an exhibition bag. Anyway, I've taken the dust cover out. Of course, it will fit everything as I mentioned for the 35, but I just want to show you that it will fit a 13-inch MacBook, no problem. Probably even a 14. If you go to the Retourne, because this is a Sellier construction, I don't think it'll fit at 16, but I think 14 you could fit very comfortably. You could fit your like documents in there, tech accessories, passport stuff, anything that you need to pack for travel, an extra cardigan, water bottle, snacks, you name it, a size 40 will be able to fit it. So I don't think you need to worry capacity wise. If you love really big bags, a big impact, then the 40's for you.
Now, I did do mod shots of my Kelly 40, but take note that the Kelly 40 does come with a shoulder strap, but obviously since mine is a special edition, it doesn't. I really just wanted to show you the size of the Kelly 40 because this still does measure 40 centimeters across. This will fit everything you ever want in it, and that's why I've titled it the Ultimate Travel Companion. So this is me trying on the Kelly 40 whilst I was in Japan. And I don't know, I think there's something really cool about it. I did want to let you know that there's even a bigger size Kelly called the Kelly Voyage, which is 50 centimeters, which is on the guy on the left-hand side. So these two bags are really mainly for travel.
So you're probably wondering, Mel, what is your favorite size then? I mean, I love all sizes because I own them, but if I had to pick, it would be the Kelly 28. For me, it's like the sweet spot between elegance and function. I still think it transitions so well from day to night. So I just get so much more use out of my Kelly 28s. And I guess that reflects because if you look at my entire Kelly collection, I own the most size 28. So it makes sense, right? I just think it's a little bit of a Goldilocks. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's a perfect medium size, and generally it suits all heights as well. So I would love to know, what is your favorite size, Kelly? Please comment below and let me know.
So to help you out and give you a complete visual, I've collected every single size and you can see a side-by-side comparison from the mini all the way up to the 40, from wearing it on the crook of my arm to holding it on the side and then finally wearing it with its shoulder strap. Obviously, if you change the Kelly strap out, you probably could crossbody all sizes, but I was just going based on the strap that the Kelly size comes with. So need to give a big thanks to hubby. He was such a good sport. He did all the modeling shots for all of you guys that are taller out there. So there's also those 3 positions as well. Feel free to pause the video and screenshot for reference, but I thought these side-by-sides would be super helpful.
So that is it, my loves. I hope you enjoyed this in-depth comparison on all the Kelly sizes. I hope by describing ways I've worn it, those scenarios, it helps you understand sort of like the end you, seeing what fits inside, seeing mod shots on me and hubby. I think with all this information, you'll be able to know what Kelly size is right for you. So thank you so much for watching. You can save this video for reference or send it to a friend that might be interested in a Kelly. And don't forget to check out all the beautiful IDYL pieces that I showed, because honestly, it will go with any of your bags. So have a wonderful day or night, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys.